Hi everyone, and welcome to Monday Night Stamping. Today is March the 11th. I can't believe it. It's almost halfway through March, it seems like. And what is Monday Night Stamping? It's a place where we come together to chat, to connect, and to unlock some paper crafting fun. My name is Lillian with Stampers Niche, and I'm coming to you from Alberta, Canada. And I want to welcome everyone. Some of you are coming, or often come from different parts of the world, whether you're watching live or if you're watching the replay on YouTube or Facebook. Do let us know you're watching. Just say hi. You don't have to say a whole lot. You could even say where you're watching from. That's always fun to see. I don't know about you, but I don't make tons of Easter things, but I make some, and I get caught every year without having an Easter stamp. So this is to help you solve that problem. If you don't have any Easter stamps, what can you do? And tonight I'm going to show one idea, and then during the next week or two, I'll show some other ideas too. So before we go down to the desktop, here is my question for you. What kind of cards do you typically make during the spring season? Are you making wedding cards, St. Patrick's Day cards? Are you making treat holders? So what kind of, I guess, paper crafts are you doing in the spring season here? So let us know in the comments, and you could also let us know how you're enjoying daylight savings time. I know that I always complain about it because I don't enjoy losing some sleep, but I do enjoy the extra sunshine and the daylight. So I guess I have to make up my mind, right? So what kind of crafts do you do in the spring? And are you enjoying daylight savings time? So while you're typing that in, I just want to show you that we're going to make an Easter card. Or it could be a baby shower card, or it could be a child's birthday card, or a baby card, whatever. And we're just going to use circles. So I'm actually going to give you a sneak peek here. So here's the one that we're going to make tonight. And then I'm going to show you some other ideas as well. So I asked as a question in our Facebook group the other day, I think it was yesterday even, what colors would you use for spring or Easter types of cards? And many of you suggested these types of colors. So I looked through my designer paper. And so if you think of the designer paper that has the balloons on it, it is called Lighter Than Air. It's 6x6 designer paper, and it has all kinds of the colors you were suggesting. So I thought, this paper would be perfect for what we want to do. So I chose some of these papers here. I narrowed it down, and I'll tell you how I narrowed it down. I wanted to like both sides. So I thought this side is good, but do I like this side? Well, I wasn't sure, but it actually does work pretty well because it just is a little bit that pokes through, and I'll show some of that. But these are some of the papers I chose from the Lighter Than Air. So let's go ahead and get started on that. I'll put this right there, I think. And I see some of you saying, so cute. I'm glad you like it because I really like it too. And there, we've got everything out of our envelope. Put the envelope down. So we're going to start with a card base that is 4 1/4 by 11. Now you can make this any size, and I'm going to show you some different sizes later, but that's what we're going to do for tonight. And we're just going to fold it in half. You could always do a fancy fold with this that could go anywhere, but we're just going to learn the basics tonight. And then I decided that I wanted to use the perennial postage dies. So I am quite enjoying these dies, I have to admit, and I chose to use this one here. So not the biggest one, but the next one in. So that's the one I chose to use. Now you could just cut a rectangle, you could use your deckled rectangles, you could use whatever you wanted. That's what I used, and so I cut this out. So we have this. And then I have a piece of Pool Party, because again, this is a soft spring color. A lot of your subtles are what you're going to be likely drifting towards. And this is 3.5 and 4 and by 4 3/4, and it layers just beautifully on that. And eventually we're going to put it on there. So that's how we've got our layers. We're going to work on this layer till almost the end. So we'll put the other pieces to the side. And I have these two. Now I used, for my circles, I used the deckled circles, but you could use any circles you have in your tools. So you can use, circle punches, just a lot of glare there. So any of your circle punches, stylish shapes, anything that's going to cut a circle. If you don't have anything, you can get a mug or a cup and trace a couple of circles even. But so what I did is I took some of these circles towards the center, and I took some scrap paper and I cut a whole bunch of them, and just like that, just scrap paper, and then I folded them. Now you notice they're not quite in half so that the bottom part shows, and then I played around to see what sizes I wanted, and right down to the littlest size. So these are sort of my design tools right here. So that's how I started, like that. And so we've got these two here are the ones that I chose. So we're going to just soften them up. We're going to fold it, and I want this color on the outside, and this is the yellow there. So I'm going to just soften it up so it folds a bit better. And then when I fold it, there's no science to it. Just make sure that you've got it some showing, and you can show more or less, whatever you want. Okay, so we use our bone folder. So there we've got one, and then we're going to do the same thing with the bigger one here. And we will just go like that. So basically we have our two chick bodies. I'm going to put this to the side. We're going to just work on the chicks right now. And then I decided that I want the bigger one to be looking this way and the little smaller one to be looking that way, like that. So then I need to put tails and beaks on it. Now you can freehand cut the beaks. You can just cut a piece of paper like that, and it's no problem. But I don't know if you're like me. If I can find a punch to do something, I love it. And I happen to have the Songbird punch, and look at this shape right here. Makes a great beak. It's actually the beak for the songbird, but I'm going to use that for this. So we're just going to slide a bit of paper in, and we need two. And I'm just being strategic. I'm getting the extra little heart too. I'm not worried about that. There so we've got two of those, and that's the Songbird Builder. And then I decided that for the tail, and I actually saw this idea with another demonstrator about Christmas time, that, you know, using a heart for the tail. So you can use any heart. I'm going to use the one from the Country Bouquet punch, but you could use a heart, one of the hearts from the bee, or you might have some dies. I'm sure you've got hearts somewhere. We're going to punch out some. Now, the biggest decision of the day is what color are we going to make the tails? So the colors that coordinate are these colors here. So I really am in love with Bubble Bath these days. So I'm going to put the Bubble Bath here with this one. And I'm just going to punch out that heart. So there we've got that. And I wanted here a little bit of contrast. So I'm picking up the purple from here. So that's why I chose the Fresh Freesia. Just like that. There we go. But you could do, of course, whatever you wanted. And I know I normally ask you, but I'm making the executive decision here tonight. So I'm going to bring in my silicone mat to do the gluing on. Move this out of the way. And we'll bring in the beaks first. And some glue. Just put a bit of glue there. You could use a glue dot. You could use whatever you like to as an adhesive. And I'm just having it stick right there. Okay, come on. Just cooperate. There we go. Now, if you wanted, you could have it going up a little bit. Go, there it is, just like that. So we're going to do a bit more here. Like that. And you can see already they're starting to take shape. And I'd have to admit, what finishes them off is the eyes. So just bear with me here. So I want this to go here. So I'm going to just put a little bit of glue on the end. And can't you just see these on a baby card? I really can. And I'm going to put a little bit of glue over here. And as you see these coming together, what other types of cards or projects might you use these on? Just curious. Now, when I put these on my card, I wanted this to stay a little bit poofy, but I didn't want it to be out of control. So what I'm going to do is bring in a couple of dimensionals, and I'm going to put the dimensional here. Why am I putting it here and not here? Then I know for sure that it's going to be hidden, that's all. There we go. So we've got that one. Tuck that in there. And if you were using the smaller circles, you might even want to use the mini dimensionals, but regular work here just fine. So now we've got it that far, and it's ready to add to the card. So we need to get the card ready. Let's move this out of the way, this in, and we have to decide what words we're going to use. So I used big hugs on the first one. Where's the big hugs? And that's from the Perennial postage set. And I thought, just for something different, I could use, oh, I didn't mount it properly. You're Simply Marvelous, and that's right here. So it's whatever you want. I don't have a Happy Easter word one except for this celebration one, and this is what I think I'll put on the inside, that one there. But you can always just do hello, thinking of you, all kinds of different words. So you could choose whatever. So first off, we're going to just rest these and make sure that there's room. So let's, whoops, I've got sticky fingers from the glue. Yes, I think we'll be able to make it work. Okay, so one of the nice things about the glass mat or the grid paper is you can line things up on it, and it works beautifully. So I'm going to stamp first, now that I know approximately where I want the words. And we're going to put them up here in the upper right-hand corner. There we go. And then I thought, well, it would look really neat if it had some spatters. So I brought in my Pool Party, my dark Pool Party blends. Now you can do this with your marker too. And you can do a couple of things, like you can go like this, like that, or you can tap it on the edge of your bone folder. Usually that works. Oh, it's just very faint. So I'm going to do this. It's a little hard on your nib, but I always use the other end to color with, so I'm okay. So that just adds a bit of interest there. And I brought in scrap paper because this is like a permanent marker. Welcome baby. Yes, Bonnie, that would work beautifully. Yeah. It's there. So we've got this, it's all prepped and ready. Now we're going to put these on, but before we put them on, we have to figure out the feet. So I'm figuring out the placement right now, and I don't mind that the tail's sticking out because it's designed that it's okay. We've got quite a bit of extra edge there. And I am going to bring in my black marker. Now I have one of the old black markers. The new ones are the same length, but the barrel of the new ones is a little bit longer, and the nib is different as well. So I'm looking forward to when I get my new black marker. So I know that I want legs to go down here, so I'm just holding my pen where I want them to start and just making a dot. Now remember, chicken legs aren't straight, right? So it doesn't really matter what we're going to do. And I made some card, this style of card, I should show you. I made this card with two girls that had never stamped with me before last Christmas. And they took to this. The kids make these cards like you wouldn't believe. And you can see here we use designer paper to do the beak and the tail. So you could always do that too. And this was a Christmas card that they did. So that was the first that I'd ever done. So I'm just going to go down, and then I'm going to do 3 toes. Down, 3 toes. And really, it doesn't matter what they look like. So again, I know this one's going to go about here. I'm going to just make a dot where I want the legs to start so that I know they're going to be covered by the body. And I'm going to go down 3 toes and down 3 toes. And it looks pretty crazy till you put it all together, and then it all works. So now you can do one of 2 things. You can glue it down flat, or you can put it on dimensionals. So I'm going to put them on dimensionals. Here we go. How many of you, your brains are going, you think, oh, I can see where I could use this. I can see these being used on and for place settings, for names. I can see them being used on little boxes, all kinds of things. We're going to save the eyes for last because they just bring it all to life. Okay, so here we go. I'll put a bit of adhesive here. Put this on and layer it on. You love these, Karen? Oh, I'm so glad, because I fell in love with them and I thought, I'm going to save this project till Easter time. So I've been saving this project for some time. And okay, you could glue that down. Here I put dimensional, so why not? Either way, it depends what you want. And if you're mailing them, you might not want to put this layer of dimensionals on. But I'm going to do it. And remember, use the edges, and you can cut them or you can just tear them. We've had company for the past week, and they just left this morning, so our house is feeling quite empty. When you have company for a while, that does make a difference. So let's see if I can get it straight. There we go. Now we just need the eyes. Now here is where you're going to make a decision. What should I use for the eyes? I'm going to pardon me. My allergies are kicking in, I think. There's the classic matte dots. So we could use the black from the classic matte dots. Or we could use the adhesive back sparkle gems. So they are they're the sparkly ones. So hold it over like that. So sparkle or matte, which should I use? Sparkle or matte? Let me know in the comments. Sparkle or matte? Sparkle. Okay, we will go with sparkle. And I actually use the matte here, so we'll be able to see the difference there. Okie dokie. Let me just move this to the side. And that, did you see what I was doing? I was just holding it over. You can do that with your embellishments and just have a look-see. So now the sparkle ones come in 2 sizes. So I think I'll use the larger one for the larger bird and the smaller one for the smaller bird. Just like that. And there we have our little card. Oh, I'm seeing lots of hearts and thumbs up and cute, and that's so easy. It is, isn't it? It's just so easy, and yeah, you can't go wrong because you don't even have to fold evenly. I mean, I just love that. So there's your you can use whatever greeting you want. So I was having lots of fun here, and I dropped a few things on the floor, so just hang on. I showed you this card that we made at Christmas time with some girls that were stamping with me. Then I made a little 3x3 card, and on this one I took my brush. You can hear them going peep, peep, peep. Oh, good, good. Yes, Bonnie, you certainly can. And I sponged some pool party in the background. I don't know if you can see. And then I added these little embellishments from the adhesive backed hearts and flowers. So I've just about used them up. But so that's what I did there. So there's a different size, little size there. And then I thought, this is one that I made a while ago when I was just practicing. I don't know what I was using to draw the legs. It was much thicker. But this is some retired paper, I think. And so, again, a different greeting. And one of these, I thought that I put a little something on the inside. I guess we're just going to have to do that. So there's that one. And then I thought, what about a slimline card? What if I wanted a whole family going peep, peep, peep? So here we have a slimline card, and you can see the little tiny one here. So I used a smaller heart on this one. The big one just didn't seem to work, but otherwise I used everything the same. The beak, I just slid it back in a little bit more, and some of the legs are going off the card. This is maybe the one. Then I made a little one to go on the inside too. And speaking of which, I think, where did my little, I've got a little one made that we can put on the inside of the one we made tonight. So let's do that right now. And we're going to do the same thing, hold it in the spot we want, and then just move it and make a little mark. And my legs and feet never turn out the same twice. They just don't. And I don't worry about it. And for this little one, I don't know if you can see, I better hold this up. The little heart I used here was actually from that bird punch. So it's this heart right here. So again, it can be all kinds of different things. So we're going like that. And here I didn't want to put an embellishment on for the eye because it's on the inside and it would be bulky. So I just took my marker and did a black dot just like that. Okay, and I have one more sample to show you. It's the one that I just threw on the floor. Remember I said you could use it for different types of things, not just cards. Somebody's hooked on the slimline card. Oh, good. I like that one too. So here we have our boxes. What are these called again now? These square pillow boxes. They're in the annual catalog, or not annual, the mini catalog. And I sponged here, and I I haven't glued it down. I did the feet just like we were, and then it's going to go like that. But I wanted to show you how this goes. So when you go to put this together, there are no straight lines, but if you kind of push, then the fold, and then you can just use your fingers like that. And these, I think I'm going to put some Easter treats in for the grandchildren and maybe the neighbors' kids. And you go around like that. Then on these two sides, this is actually adhesive. You just peel this back and it's sticky and it's going to stick together. So why don't we do that? Why don't we just peel that off? And I've already folded these. And then you're going to bring them together. And I always like to keep my finger in there till everything's into position and line up the edges. And that is a really good adhesive. And then we're going to do the same here. Tuck that in, keep my fingers in there for now. Now you could do belly bands or whatever, but I just wanted to show you, you can actually stamp on here, and that's what I was going to do. I meant to stamp words and I forgot. Oh well, it doesn't really matter. And we'll put our little bird on like this. And we can tuck this in and make it the square. These are food safe, by the way. Or you can leave it open and tuck some tissue paper in like I did with this little bee one here. I stamped honeycombs on the tissue paper and went like that. You could actually punch holes and put ribbon through it to make handles. You can do whatever. So I was trying to think, other than cookies and candy, what could you put in here? But candy always works, right? So the little bunny, you could put a few bunnies and some eggs, or you could put some bubbles and maybe a bouncy ball in there, and you've still got room to spare. And then you can just close it up, and you have that, like that. So easy to make these chicks. Oh, I know. I was going to just share one more thing with you. There are these embellishments in the annual catalog. Let me just open them up. And they look, I think they'd be perfect with these because they look like eggs. Look at this. Don't they just look like eggs? These are called the opaque ovals. And you can find them in the annual catalog in the embellishments. I should have had this open, but I forgot. Out of sync with all the company. So you can find them right here. And so the number is 7. If you look down here, there it is right there. So if you're looking for some little eggs to add to your Easter projects, this might be something that's worthwhile for you. And the colors are pecan pie, lemon lolly, bubble bath, and azure afternoon. So they would work perfectly. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope you're going to make some of these little chicks in some form or other, whether it's a name tag, whether it's a card, whether it's treat packaging, whatever, and hopefully you'll share them. I'm going to have a little contest starting tomorrow for 1 week, and if you share them, your names will be put into a draw to be randomly drawn for this package of embellishments. So get your circles out, start folding them, and have some fun, everyone. Take care, and bye-bye.